In this episode of Testimony and Musician Story, presented by Sound Seekers, I talked to R&B singer Byron Juane. Now, I've actually talked to him almost like 3 years ago. I was just never able to post this episode, so I'm very excited to talk to him again and actually share his testimony. We had the most extensive conversation about singleness and dating and just relationships that I've ever had on this show. We also talk about destigmatizing therapy in the Black community, women in ministry. I mean, we had some pretty deep conversations. We also talk about Mariah Carey's memoir because that was trending on Twitter. And in our 4 song breakdown, he breaks down LSD, Nice Guy, Crazy, and Guilty from his EP, Promise I'm Not Crazy. I am Gaylika Brown, and this is Sound Seekers Presents Testimony, a Musician's Story. And let's start with your first music memory, whether it be a song, a music video, like the first thing you remember about music.
Wow, my first music memory. I think my first music memory was like getting pots, being on pots, like trying to act like I was playing drums. Like, and then my mom eventually got me into drum lessons, and then I started like just teaching myself how to do that. So that was my first one. But my most impactful music memory is like trying to when I was a kid trying to join the choir or whatever, and they said I was too young, and I really took that to heart. My feelings was hurt. I was crying and stuff. So then, so then later I got to sing on the choir, and then I guess I don't know if that sparked my love for singing, because after that, when I was in middle school, I just started doing these like mixtape, quote unquote mixtapes. Wasn't really a mixtape, super trash, but I'll be rapping, and then I just really started to fall in love with music. So those are my first few memories.
All right, so banging on pots and pans.
Hmm.
That's like, do you play drums?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because that
Yeah, I
seems
do.
like the classic drummer story,
Hmm.
banging on pots and pans as a kid, and then trying to get into the choir but being too young.
Hmm. Yeah, I got curved. I was pissed. It's like, dang.
How old did you have to be?
I don't know. I think you have to be like at least like 9 or 10. I think I was like 7 trying to get into it or whatever. I was just like, wow,
That'd be
you
fun.
guys suck. So
Ageism.
facts. So yeah. But it was cool. Like eventually I got in, then I don't know. I always had like an ear for music for some reason. Like nobody else in my family except I just found this out my uncle, like my grandfather's brother, he's musically inclined. I did not know that for like yeah, I
Okay.
literally just found that out 2 days ago. But before that, there was nobody that was really musically inclined in my family. So like I just kind of I don't know where I got it from. I just always had an ear for it. I played drums, trumpet, taught myself guitar, and I just like really like got
Wow,
immersed in it, and I just loved it. So yeah.
that's crazy.
Mhm.
Well, you got it from God. That's where it came
Facts, facts,
from.
facts.
So, where were you born and raised at?
I was born in Charlotte. We lived in Mount Holly. Then we moved to this lovely town called Gastonia, where there's nothing there. So I was raised there. I was raised in my grandmother's house. It was me and my mom, my sister, my grandfather, and my aunt, in all in one house. Which I don't know how the heck we did all that, but it was amazing. Like I love the memories that was made, the lessons. Like I did not enjoy the beatings with the freaking switches. We're in the South, so like they
Oh,
use
yeah.
switches when you act up. So did not enjoy that, but I enjoyed just the family community aspect of it. It was really fun. So that's why I was born and raised.
Okay. And was it a Christian household?
Yes, it was a Christian household. My Oh my god, I was so aggravated about it because I was like such a kid and I didn't want it. Like my mom was a minister, my grandfather was a deacon, so we would literally always be in church. And me, I would get aggravated if they didn't feed you after service because I was a kid. So I'd just be like, "Why are we always here and I don't get fed?" And I was just like, I would always get mad about it. But now, like it was instilled in me, and obviously it's with me now. So it like definitely played a part. So that really, 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 I appreciated that. They always gave me the foundation and the morals that I never really understood as a kid, but as I got older, specifically in high school, it really like started to click for me. And yeah. yeah,
Yeah.
it changed my life.
And
So
your mom is a minister.
my mom is
Is a minister.
still a minister.
That's
Yeah,
dope. It's just it's still interesting to me that in this day and age that there are certain people in churches that are just against women, being
facts. Which
ministers
is
and
so weird.
pastors.
I
Yeah,
actually unfollowed a lot of people that believe that because I thought that was like really weird. Like I'm not with that. So like no.
yeah. It just I didn't even think that that was an issue. Like in this day and age, I really didn't. And then
Mm.
I found out, and it's very disheartening.
Very disheartening. And I'm
Yeah,
just like, you guys already see the struggle that women, especially like black women, go through. And it's just the fact that you guys don't think she can hold an office like
yeah.
biblically. And I'm just like, it's so much. I literally had to unfollow a couple of artists because they like viewed that. And I
Mhm.
was just like, I can't respect you for that. I just don't. So
Well, I mean, let's look at Jesus.
right.
Like the relationships that he had with women, the women who basically ran and told that for him, like the woman at the
Mm,
well, talked to her.
mm,
She just ran out, went and told the world. Like
mm.
everyone, like there were women in the Bible who were spreading the word, who were
The
ministering.
gospel. Facts. So
So
I'm just like, how does that, if they're doing it there, how do you feel like you have the right to take away a woman's right to do that now? I'm just like, nah, I can't support that. I'm just like,
yeah.
that's crazy.
So
So
that is like a thing now, like looking for churches, like, okay, what are their thoughts about women in ministry?
right.
So
Honestly, it's that, and like for me, like since we are both black people, like I have to find a church that understands that aspect as well
as
politically.
well,
So
yeah.
it kind of bothers me because growing up in the South, like it's not really like that. There's not a ton of churches that really understand that. So it's just like it's very frustrating at times. So yeah, definitely it's important to find churches that really understand you as a person
Yeah.
and that can grow you like in multiple areas and not just shun you because things like this thing like petty things like not
Mhm.
being a woman being able to minister and things like that. So yeah.
And unfortunately, I mean, those are common issues across the country. It's not just a
Facts.
Southern thing. So,
Facts.
but I don't know. I mean, I was raised in California, so I know a little bit more liberal. We have churches that are more like we
Mm,
want to embrace everyone.
mm.
And some are actually doing it, some are trying to do it, some are actually
I
doing
love
it, but
that
they're saying
actually.
it. Yeah.
And I love Cali, by the way. Cali is, oh my God, I freaking love Cali. It's such a vibe. I remember we were actually there for Grammy weekend earlier this year before the world went to chaos and flames. So now we were there. I performed at this event there, and we shot a music video. Actually, this video that actually just dropped yesterday.
Oh, really?
So
What part of Cali?
we were in, oh my lord, what is it called? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Every time I try to think of it, I cannot think of it. It was a really, 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 really nice part.
It's probably in
Um,
Southern California, though.
I'm gonna look it up right now because it's really gonna
Right.
bother me. I have to look it up. It's literally gonna bother me. We were in Malibu,
Malibu,
so
yeah,
we
Southern
were,
California.
yeah,
That's oh my gosh, those are
yeah,
Malibu dreams.
yeah, we,
That's not regular Cali for the rest of us folk. Those are dreams. Those are goals to get to Malibu.
yeah, we were chilling. We was having lunch on the beach and things like that, and then we just shot what was really crazy. Like, so we shot the video. So we shot these videos in these hills, and I was like, okay, cool. I tried this fruit cup that had those like that seasoning, that
Oh yeah,
herb
yeah.
seasoning or whatever.
It's the Mexican fruit cups.
Right. So then we were in the hills shooting this video, and then literally the next day Kobe died, and then I realized those hills were the same hills where he crashed at,
Mm.
and that kind of like was so weird. I was just like literally in the same area, like it was literally the same area. I have like the picture where we were at, and then the article where he crashed. It was wild. So when we went to the Nipsey Hussle store or whatever,
Yeah.
after that, the news broke that he died, and then just like the whole city's like we were in LA, so the whole city's like vibe, just like it was like so weird.
So you felt all of that.
It was so weird. I was just like, I don't like this. I need to go home.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, just think that would have been a totally different just feeling and experience if you would have heard about Kobe. not being in Cali and not being in that environment where it actually happened.
Right, right. So it was super weird, but yeah. And then 2020 proceeded to be like how it is. So yeah, it's definitely interesting though. But love Cali, love it, love the vibes, love the people, the food's fire. It's just all vibes, and I love it.
And what was the song that you did the music video for?
It's called All Right, All Right, All Right. It's Derek and Cannon's song, so I just
Okay,
kind of
so it's not on
snuck.
yours.
Yeah, I
Okay.
just kind of snuck my way in there. I really wasn't even supposed to be on that song. I was just there in the studio one day, and I was just like, I'm gonna write something. And they're like, oh, okay. And then it was fire, so it was just like that.
Okay. And okay, so we know you grew up in a Christian household with your minister mom.
Minister
And
Mom.
when did it become real for you? When did you give your life to Christ?
Man, it became real to me when I was in 10th grade. She took me to this church, and these kids were like hip hop dancers to Christian rap, and I didn't understand. But the thing was, I was like super confused because I was like, these people that were there on the dance team did not portray themselves like how they did at church. So I was like, what the heck is this? So then the pastor's wife was always trying to just like convince me to join, and I'd be like, no, I'm cool. And she's like, yo, I heard you kind of like the music. I was like, a little bit. And she's like, you should come. You should like make a song, whatever. So one time we were doing this outreach, and then it was me and my sister. She was taking us home. She was like, "You should come to Bible study with us." And I was like, "I guess." So like, I went, and then she asked me. She was like, "Yo, like, why don't you want to join?" And I was just like, "Well, one, I can't dance to save my life, so that doesn't really help. And number two, I was like, there's a lot of kids that's on here. They don't really like reflect what you guys are supposedly standing for." And she was like, "You want to tell him that?" I was like, "Sure." So then I went to Bible study, and then I told him that. And then after that,
You made an impression.
right. So then after that, I don't know, like I just got into the church, and like it just really became real for me. I really started to understand it's not religion, it's like relationship, and it's like really about the heart of the Lord. So then I found that within myself, and I don't know, I just started walking in love, and it just like literally changed the trajectory of how like my life was going. So yeah. So that's when it became real to me. High school.
High school, and then from high school to now, what about those
High school to
peaks and
now, like, oh
valleys?
my goodness, it's been like night and day because we all had that phase where we're super zealous and like we just like I literally had a Jesus gang freaking bandana. So I was like super obnoxious. So like
What color was the
it
bandana?
was white and
Okay.
black. And I'd be saying the wildest stuff. So now I feel like it's a maturity in it. Like I tackle some very tough issues within my faith now. And a very questionable, like a lot of questionable things that nobody really likes to talk on. Like I think about and I talk to people that are like my mentors. Like it's very seasoned now. It's not just like, oh my God, pretty butterflies and everything. Like it's very mature, and it's very just like open ended. And I'm like, yo, like, you know, this growth has really like shaped me as a man and how I see the world. And I just really like started to realize like my relationship with God is really custom made to me and God. Like it doesn't have to reflect like everybody else's. So I think that's what I had peace in within the most. Because Christians, a lot of Christians tend to think like, obviously we have a set of values that we should hold to, but a lot of people will be like, oh, they think it should look like this, and I'm just like, no, God made me me, so it should look like how me and God's relationship should look like. So yeah, so
I
that's
love
how it's
that.
gone.
A custom made relationship. It's tailored for each person. It's each
Mhm.
individual.
Mhm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I really think if people really understood that, they'd be more like free, like within
Hmm.
themselves, because it's like a lot of people just live by religion and like what people think. And this is a whole thing. I'm just like a lot of people live by religion in a sense of like these people make these rules up, and I'm just like, God, Jesus didn't come for rules, Jesus came for your heart and things like that. And I was like, if you understand that and you live by that, you will literally be feel so much better about your walk, bro. You won't feel like condemned and like all this other things. I'm just like, you know. So when I really understood that in the last year, like or two, for real, like I was like, wow, I don't care about any of what you guys think anymore. And
Hmm.
it's like that's really when I started to shift my music. for real. Like, because my music sounds so completely different than it did when I first started. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, because I was really trying to find myself, and now I really feel like I found myself and found my lane. I'm just like, hey, this is what I know what God gave me, and this is what it is. So like,
Well, that's good. There should be growth in your music, and we should be able to see that growth. So,
mm,
and it's
yeah,
cool to watch artists discover who they are and then actually
definitely.
find that
It
lane.
yeah, it's kind of crazy because like even in the video that dropped today or yesterday, I looked at myself, and this was literally earlier this year. I'm just like, bro, I'm a completely different person. Like even from there to there, because there was like ridiculous amounts of growth between these time periods,
Yeah,
and I was just like, oh wow, like this is so crazy to see, especially if you compare it to my video dropping Thursday. So like it's really wild. So I don't know. I'm really proud of myself. I really became a man this year. I really like understood who God is and what faith is to me, and it really just helped me. And I have peace within myself for the
that's
first time.
important piece.
Facts.
And how old are you now?
I just turned 23 in July.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's important for people to hear people that are younger than you saying that you just found yourself at 23. And
Wait,
then
how old are you?
we don't have to get all up into that, but I
Oh
was way past
Lord.
23. And then when you hit 28, when you hit 30, 35, you're going to be saying the same thing.
Okay, I
You're
gotta say this
always
because I say
telling
this all the time, guys. Black does not crack. It's
it
just like
doesn't crack.
it just don't crack. I'm
It
sorry.
doesn't.
Every time I be meeting people that be like 60, I'd be like, oh, so you're probably like in your 30s. They're like, no, I'm like 65. I'm like,
I'm not that old, but
like I don't think you're that old. Like, I don't think you're that old. That's crazy. But yeah, is but I think the process of finding yourself, I think it's just different for people. Like I'm still trying to find myself, but the thing is, it's like what helped me find myself is like obviously faith, but I also went to therapy.
okay.
And the thing is, that's a stigma within our culture, like
Yes.
the black culture. And I'm really trying to just normalize that because it's just like before my album rolled out, I used to talk about it all the time on my social
Okay.
media. I was talking about like therapy this, therapy that. Because my freaking therapist, she's a freaking rock star. She's literally helped me with so much stuff. So like, yeah, when I really understood that, I really understood my traumas and like I understood what happened, like what not even just what happened to me or why what affected me after what happened to me because I didn't know. I just thought it was like this is the way I am, and that's not true. A lot of things that we think are our personality is just really trauma that we haven't worked through.
Okay.
So for me, when I worked through these traumas like in therapy and obviously like chopping it up with God and things like that, I really started to see who I was as an individual, and I'm just like, oh, this is what this is. This is who I am. And when I stepped into that and I fully accepted that, I was like, well, I feel great. I feel amazing. So yeah.
That's awesome. I That's what I commend Charlemagne the God for, because he's like really like on this mission to destigmatize therapy, and he swears by it. He's written books about it. But I'm curious to know, as a 23-year-old Black man, what even like drove you to the point of where you thought that you needed therapy?
We're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. All right. So if I'm gonna keep it a band, oh my goodness, 2018 and 2019 were like the worst years of my life. I almost committed suicide one time. I was really unhappy. 2018, my grandmother passed. My grandmother was literally like my lifeline. So she passed away, and I was like very depressed. I remember one time I wanted to commit suicide, but then I had a dream that my classmate committed suicide, and when I woke up, he actually committed suicide, and I
Oh
felt
wow.
like, God, like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, okay. But even through 2019, I'll try to like fill myself with just unnecessary things, even like just toxic relationships with women that really like were just unfulfilling, and it was just there because I didn't want to deal with my issues. My family life was just awful. Like it was just not good. Even though like I dropped music still, I was like literally depressed. I went to Israel and I was depressed. So like that was a lot. But when I got baptized in the Jordan River, that kind of helped me. That helped me a lot. But
Yeah.
besides that, when I was there, going there, I didn't want to go. Like all these other things, there was just a lot going on with me. So one day, my mom was like, we were eating when I came back home. I came back home one time and like we were eating. She was like, B, you, because she's a therapist as well. She's an occupational therapist. She has her own private practice. You know, Black Queen Magic, all of that. So,
I'm like, your mom's a beast.
she is amazing. So, yeah. So, she was like, B, you need to go to therapy, and I'm like, I remember it like years. I'd be like, yeah, but now I'm like, I was like, yeah, I think I need to go. So, yeah, literally the very first day I went, and I was just like, oh, I kind of feel better after talking to somebody a little bit. So then, as I continued to go, we worked out these strategies. I started journaling. I started like, meditating and things like that, and really like working out my issues and talking to her so much. I was just like, I started to see a gradual change, and I was just like, oh wow. And then I literally started to shift out of those negative situations that I got. My negative cognitive processing started to change, and how I viewed the world changed. So when I got into that, after I got so broken, I got into that. I started to heal, and I literally felt so much better. Like I was just like, yeah, this is it. Like this is all the way it. So definitely, if anybody's listening, I definitely encourage you to go to therapy. It's not for crazy people. It's not for like people that have issues. Like literally, we all have issues, and we all need somebody to talk to that's outside of our situation, so they can give us a real perspective. So yeah,
Yeah. And prayer is awesome and
and
having
prayer.
faith is awesome, but sometimes you need more than that. There's
Facts.
nothing wrong
And
with
it's like
no.
so crazy, right? It's so crazy because it's like a lot of people. It's like okay, God, of course, God can do anything. But it's like we can't ignore. There's a spiritual side of life, but there's also a physical side of life, and we have emotions too. But for some reason, Christians love ignoring emotions, and I don't know why. That's so weird to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
if you're made with these, obviously you need to use them in some capacity. So, um, I'm like, guys, we have all of these things within us. We're such a complex organism the way we're made. And we have these needs that need to be met. But it's just like, yeah, God, He gives us His word, but He also gives us resources to fix the other things too. And I'm just like,
Exactly.
therapy is definitely a resource that we need to be using. So yeah, that was just my process on it. I
Yeah.
just never understood it. So yeah.
There was I feel like it was Lecrae who said it, and I don't even know if this was like the exact analogy, but he's like, if you break your arm, you're not gonna just like pray like, oh, I hope my arm just gets healed. You might pray about it, but you're also gonna go to the doctor so they can put it in a cast and get it healed.
Mhm.
So
Facts.
it's the same thing with your
It's the same
mind.
thing. It's the same thing. Like a lot of us struggle. It's really like the same thing as us like praying to lose weight, but we still go to McDonald's every day. So it's just like,
Yeah, but I got the Diet Coke.
yeah, it's diet is really worse than the regular. But the thing is, it's like at a point you gotta realize I'm like, okay, but like God is going to do these things, but it's like I have to take a step. That's still faith. You still
Mhm.
have to take the step to let things work within you. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how would you say God's presence looks like in your life personally?
God's presence looks like mercy and consistency in my life. I
Mm,
feel like I be in the wildest situations because I'm a songwriter too. So like I've been breaking into like a lot of mainstream, like as of recently, like I've been getting a lot of love from there, which is super cool. So even as a songwriter, like I'd be into these rooms that I'd be like, like what? Good and bad, like good and bad. And I'd be like, Lord, what? But it's crazy when I get into those rooms, people just start to realize something's different about me. And obviously, we talk about church. Everybody loves church, which is like so weird. Like people
mm,
from this space try to shy away from it, but it's like when you go, even when you go over there, people like are very invested into God. So it's really cool. So they'll look at me and they're like, "Yo, like you do music?" I'll be like, "Yeah, a little bit," and then like I'll just show them things and
a
like
little
we just get
bit.
to chopping it up. Right. And it just shows me that he's consistent with me. And even when I do crazy stuff like in my emotional life and things like that, he's there. He picks me back up. He pieces me back together in the places that I should be. So that really like just gives me a testament of one, his faithfulness, his consistency, and that he doesn't leave. So that's God's blessing in my life. I mean presence in my life. And he obviously the blessings, but I feel like the blessings are just like a reflection of his consistency. So
Mercy and consistency. Okay. All right. So let's switch it up a little bit. we'll move on to what's trending on Twitter
Ooh.
today. So,
Twitter's the best, worst place on the internet.
well, Mariah Carey is trending right now. For says Mariah Carey explains why James Packer is absent from her memoir. And apparently, I didn't know who James Packer was, but apparently, James Packer is a billionaire businessman that she dated in 2015. And after a year of them being together, he proposed to her with a 35 carat ring. Yeah. So, and so Mariah put out, her memoir, and people were like, why didn't you mention this
Oh
dude?
boy. Like,
And this is her response. If it was a relationship that mattered, it's in the book. If
she's
not,
hurt.
it's in her.
She's hurt.
She said, matter of factly, when asked for further details, Carrie admitted, we didn't have a physical relationship, to be honest with you. And she also sold that ring for $2.1 million.
That's a come up.
So my question is to you, is not validating the relationship because it wasn't physical, like kind of shady of her? Or like what are your thoughts about that?
I feel like there's more to that story. I feel like there's a lot of things that's happening, and she's just saying that because I'm just like, and especially you pawning a ring for like what did he buy it for?
Oh, I don't know how much he bought it for, but she sold it for $2.1 million.
I'm pretty sure that's extra because one, she's Mariah Carey, and two, like, no, that's a come up. I feel like there's more to that relationship. Like, I really feel like, because it's like, you got to understand when people don't act normally about things after like relational things, there's always going to be, there's residue there. Like, if you're acting at it like that, or you're, oh, he's not in there because it's not important, that's bitterness. Like, that's just what it is.
Thank you.
So I feel like they need to go, if they can, like, resolve things with each other. If not, that's just what it is. But I definitely feel like she is not all the way through that. So there's that.
Okay. Um, yeah, I mean, I haven't read the memoir, so I'm not sure who she mentioned
I'm
in the
yeah,
book. I
I'm
mean, I'm
not
sure
gonna
Nick Cannon is in it. Yeah, I'm not going to read it either.
lie.
I mean, honestly,
I have no
people
interest in
are
it, but
people.
Nick Cannon is interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure he's in the book, and that would probably be interesting. But I'm just
But
like, if you dated someone for at least a year and it ended in a proposal, that seems like a
there had
pretty
to be
important
some
relationship in your
right.
life.
Yeah, had to be some significance to that, bro. I'm just like, nah, bro. You're not just getting a ring if there hasn't been any like really intense like emotions or like communication on both sides. Like this is where you guys want to hit, unless the dude was crazy. But that could be a thing. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't believe it. So
If you were him, would you want the ring back?
no, it's, it's a ring. I
Is it-
gave it. It's a ring. I gave it to her because at the time I wanted to be with her. So it's just
yeah.
you can have it. I
Okay.
mean, if you listen, if I got the money to buy the ring in the first place, I could be okay without it. So like, right.
That's a good attitude. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm sure not all men would say that.
Right.
Especially
I've been
once they found
hearing.
out how much she made off of it. Like,
Yes. Listen, I feel like again, if you just made enough, it shouldn't really matter because it's like usually when you pawn stuff, the values kind of decrease. So like
mhm.
maybe he bought it for more. So maybe it wasn't that.
Anyway,
Who
that's a
knows?
come up. That's a come up for me. I'll take
Oh,
the ring.
bro, over with, over with. Y'all won't ever hear from me again. Okay.
All right, so let's move on to music
Mhm.
and how you got your music start. Like we know you were beating on pots and pans
Facts.
and trying to get into choirs you were too young for. But how did you officially get into music?
Because of freaking Drake. So like,
Drake?
because of freaking Drake. Yeah,
Freaking
I was in middle school and I wanted to like do a mixtape and things like that, but I was literally obsessed with Drake. So like I would like just rapping like excuse me. I was just like rapping things like that. I bought a cheap computer microphone
mhm.
in the hallway of my house and got some and then I would just act like I don't know what the crap I was talking about. I literally had no idea. It was so bad. I was recording off of Audacity, which is a free program. And it was just so bad. It was so bad. But I kept at it. Then I got
You had
into
to
these
start
talent shows.
somewhere.
Facts. Got into these talent shows at school. Never won. So there was that. Even in high school, never won. But the moment I got good, I got like decent 25th, 2014, 2015. I was like, okay, cool, I can rap. I was like, I can sing a little bit. I was like,
When
okay,
you said
this
you
is
got decent, oh, that's when you felt you were decent.
where
Okay.
I felt I was decent. So I remember this one talent show. I I brought my guitar. I wrote this song. I actually wrote this song by this girl I had a crush on in high school or whatever. And was it about that? It was something. It was like I wrote two songs mainly on guitar. It was one called Destiny Song because I like this girl named Destiny Sanders. Yeah, if you hear this, that was that. Secondly, I wrote this song called Superman. I'm pretty sure I wrote it about God, but I wasn't sure. I don't know. I was just out there, so I was just writing. So I got the guitar, played it for my talent show, and the whole school, especially like the girls, they were just like scream. I will never forget that day. They were like screaming. I was like, what the heck? So I did that. And it's a funny story, like my ex at the time, well, my ex, she had a group too, and they were super fire or whatever. So I thought I was like, this is my time. I came in second to my ex. I was like,
Oh.
right. But but it was funny. It was
Hopefully
fun
you
though.
showed her some love though.
Nah, but it was funny though. I was just like, of course. So like, but it was all good though. It was really cool. After that, um, I was like, okay, cool. Like I'm like decent at this, and then I released my first project in 2015, which is a whole. It's like thinking about that. It's even though it's only 5 years ago, it's such a whole different era because SoundCloud and YouTube streaming were just like starting to really bubble and things like that. The
Yeah.
blog posts were everything back then. Like you just like it was such a different era of music. And I remember I would just be doing covers on YouTube and they would like get like 20,000, 30,000 views. And I'd be like, oh, this is crazy. So then I'm like, okay. So then I just started making my own music. I started working with one of my old producers, Indy 500. And then we just like really I don't know. We just worked until one day, like I looked up, and then it was like 2016. I met Diraj, who was formerly on RMG. I did a song with him, and that led to me forming a relationship with the camp. And then in 2017, I got signed. So it's kind of like that. Yeah,
Okay, well, we kind of breeze through like getting
a
in
lot.
with art to RMG, Derek Miner's Reflection Music Group. Let's talk a little bit more about that. Like, how did you even like connect with Daraj?
So in 2015, there's this artist named Wonder Why. We were connecting, we built, and we did this song. Thinking back on it, it was so bad, but it's okay. So we did this song. I don't even know what it was called, but then Daraj heard it. He was like, "Yo, this is super fire. We should like work." And I was like, "Okay, cool, of course." Like, I remember he sent this beat to this song called "No That's Me." Well, it wasn't called "No That's Me" at the time. It was just a song. He was like, "I bet I need a hook on this." I literally made it that hour. Literally that hour, I sent it back. He loved it, and then that came to be this song called "No That's Me," and then that joint got we also that song. This is when like the playlist on Apple Music. It's still a big deal, but like they were just first coming out, so we got on Apple Music's Best of the Week playlist, which was super crazy
Yeah.
at the time. So then the song was doing super well. So then they decided to do a video for it, and I was like, oh dang, I really need to go do this. Like I really need to be in this. I've never been in a music video. So my
Mhm.
best friend Michael got a car. He just got a new car that day, like his first new car. And I was like, hey bro, do you want to go to Florida so we can like shoot this video? Like I really need to go do this. Like I really need to go. So we drive 13 hours from Gastonia to go shoot this video. We shot it, crashed on somebody's couch, literally left in 2 hours the next day, and then we had to go back. And then that video ended up playing in Journeys everywhere, like the shoe store
Mm,
Journeys.
okay.
And then after that, like I got connected with Doc, who is the CEO of RMG, and eventually, like he was like, "Yo, like we really like you, we really like your vibe. If we're talking next year, we'll sign you." And I'm like, sure. Like, I guess I didn't really pay any attention because I didn't really think it was gonna like be anything like that was gonna actually happen.
Yeah.
So what happened was I got a call back that next few months after that, and they were like, "Yeah, we really like you." I was like, "Oh." So I got signed. So then I didn't even meet Derek before. Then I had a conversation on the phone with Derek, and then we got in the studio one day because he was telling me like a lot of people can't keep up with him. I'm just like, bro, I do this. Like, what are you talking about? So like we got in the studio for like a solid week, and we made my first project. And after that, like me and him just like we had this synergy. It just clicked, and it was just there. So yeah, so I met Derek, and now I am what I am now. So, like,
Right on. That's a cool
yeah,
story. And now you just released your EP. Well, it's been a couple weeks now, but Promise I'm Not Crazy EP.
love that project.
Hmm.
I said I love that project.
Yeah, let's talk about that because, like you said, one, you're a different person,
Mm,
and two, your music sounds different.
mm,
So let's talk about how different this album sounds in comparison to your past music.
okay. So in compare, well, if you listen to my debut EP with RMG, it was literally just like rappy, singy stuff, which is fine. Then just everything after that with rappy, singy stuff. But then Hopeful Soul is when I like took a turn because I forgot one day I went on my IG stories. I was like, hey, I'm gonna like try to sing more. I just really wanted to sing to see if I could make a project that I was just singing with. And people were just telling me it was a bad idea, bad idea, bad idea.
Hmm.
But then that debuted at number 5 on the R&B chart. So then I was just like, not really a bad idea.
Yeah.
So then with this one, so Hopeful Soul, I literally made during when my grandmother was passing. So that was crazy. I was making it during that time. It released after she died, which was like super crazy for
Mm.
me. But yeah, so Promise I'm Not Crazy. Literally whole person shift. Like, oh my goodness. I went through some really crazy stuff, really traumatic heartbreak situations, all this toxicity, all of that, just wrapped into one little ball. Love that. So then after that, when I was making this project, like honestly, I had a whole nother project that I was working on. And I was working on in December 2019 that I was going to drop, but then we came back to the drawing board. We were like, we should try to make a new sound. So then we just started making the songs, like because again, I was working with songwriters. I've been working with songwriters. I've been working with Instead of Made, who signed the AO and Keys, who literally like produced every hit R&B song ever.
Hmm.
Like they made WAP, they've made stuff with Chris Brown, they made everything. So Taylor signed to them. So I was also started locking in with this dude named Kalen Ellis, who just produced for Lupe Fiasco. Like just
Okay.
dropped a joint with Lupe Fiasco, and then I just recently got connected with Xavier Omar.
Hmm.
So that's literally my big brother now.
Little
So
Xavier, aka Spazzy Rocket. I got to
yeah,
interview him when he was Spazzy.
yeah.
And I did see him
So
actually right before the pandemic.
oh
He,
word.
yeah, he did a tour at this nightclub, Ace of Spades in Sacramento, California.
Mm,
And I got to go to the show and talk to him afterwards. So,
yeah,
and then the pandemic happened.
yeah, yeah. So like yeah, like I literally was talking to him like earlier today. But yeah, that's literally my dog. So like yeah, so I was all of these influences or whatever, and I just really started writing. I was like, hey, I just want to like talk about just some different things. So then I don't the idea like I didn't even have the idea until the songs were done. Like I didn't even have the idea of this Promise I'm Not Crazy because all I knew was were very I'm not gonna say chaotic. They were just very like outlandish, and they were very like I guess quote unquote taboo, which really is not really taboo, but it's just like it would make it seem like this because the whole thing of me, like I don't know why, like but God has really been placing me in a stream of mainstream connections, which is like crazy to me now. Like a lot of my music and a lot of like the stuff I'm doing has been over there, which is crazy because I it's just really changed my network. So I was like, okay, cool. I want this sound to be able to translate over there, but I just want to really talk about love, like everything that I've been through so far. So the idea of Promise I'm Not Crazy is just like you would never literally like you would never know what you wouldn't do for love until you're in that predicament. Like
Yeah.
love is not just this pretty little feeling. Love is literally passion, it's chaos, it's intensity, it's beauty, it's like ugly, it's like everything in one thing. So I'm like, well, I'm making so going into like like not like transitioning over into like being more broadcasting and mainstream, and I still have a Christian, like, I still have my Christian following too. Since I got both audiences, I'm like, how the crap am I going to do this like
Yeah.
correctly? So I'm like, okay, bet. I was like, this won't be super crazy for people that just follow me from like, because over the summer, like I went viral on TikTok and I got like a lot more like random like listeners that's never heard of me, and like some other things happened that gave me more just regular fans, and then yeah, with my Christian fans. So I'm over here like they won't really care. But I was like, I know the Christian people that I have. That's like I have to like I got to do this in the right way. I just have to do this in the right way. So as I started, making the songs when we were done, and I was just like, yo, like this topic is like it's like really real. I'm just like all of these songs I've been through. I'm just like I think everybody can relate to. LSD, obviously, I just want to show people, and I'm just like, it's okay to experience human emotion. And especially if we're definitely talking about on a Christian perspective, like I don't think a lot of people talk about love. Me and Xavier were related on the phone the other day, and we were talking about like how you have the get married like goal for all, especially young Christians, but nobody talks about the in between of that like at all. And I'm like, with me, I'm a very honest person, so I'm like, I'm about to just talk about everything, like, because we all go through things that we don't talk about. There's
Yeah.
probably experiences in dating that nobody would really talk about like openly with like believers, like quote unquote, like believers. And I'm just like, why? Why is that? That's weird. Like we are normal people. We should talk about these things. We should normalize these things. I'm just like, people shouldn't feel like they have to hide things they go through. So me, I'm
Hmm.
like, I'll be the person that just will be like completely and 1000% vulnerable, because
Yeah.
that's just me. So with LSD, I made the record, and I'm just like, you know, everybody. I feel like we all get to a point, or I've been to a point where I've like somebody so much or love somebody so much that I needed their presence, even if they were really bad for me, even if they were toxic to me, and I knew they were dragging me down. Just the feeling of their presence and the feeling of them being there was so addicting that I literally cannot get off of it. Like I
Yeah.
needed it there. So I'm just like, so that was that record, and it's just like it's very that, and then we can definitely do a breakdown. I'm gonna just go through them. So
Yeah,
like,
since you're talking about LSD, we'll go ahead and merge this section with our 4 song breakdown,
yeah, let's do it.
where recite or sing a verse and discuss
Oh,
what's going on
my
between
throat
the
kind of
lines.
hurts, so like I'll definitely read the lyrics like
Okay.
line by line. But my throat's been hurting this morning.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. Let's break down LSD
Let's
though.
break down LSD. This is kind of cool. I like this. So
And I actually wait, before we do that, I had a comment because you were talking about like you feel like you need this person's presence in your life. Do you think is it exactly that person, or is it the fact that you got used to their presence
I
that when
right.
they're no longer there?
Right. I feel like it's a combination of both. Because the thing is like a lot of people in relationship, they mistake comfortability with love. They
Hmm.
mistake habituality. That was a really nice word. Anyway, so like they mistake the habitual with the feeling of love. And the thing is, love isn't really a feeling. Love is a consistent action, and
Hmm.
it takes many various forms. But the feeling of love, like, is just so misinterpreted. So people like get confused with it a lot. So I definitely think it's both. Honestly, I feel like whatever aspect you can get like hooked on something and comfortable, I think that is a representation of this song, which will be presented in the video Thursday. So that's gonna be super fire. So
Okay,
that's
plug.
gonna be interesting.
Video coming.
It's
All
gonna be very interesting.
right, so let's see. What do you want to break down for LSD?
We can do the whole lyrics, or
Okay.
we can like, yeah. So LSD written by me. Um and I think Wes the writer helped a little bit on this too. So pretty much, I remember us making this in a. We didn't even make this in a studio. We made this over Zoom. Literally made this whole entire album over Zoom. So that's just
Wow.
like, which is so freaking crazy to me. Quentin and Wes are the GOAT. Like my team, him and me and Quentin is just. I honestly, it's kind of crazy because I hated everything before like it got done. Like I was like, I don't want to put this out. Like I was really fighting people. I was just like, this ain't coming out. I can't. I won't. I won't. And me and Wes were always like butt heads, and I'm like, Wes, bro.
And when you say Wes, Wes who?
Wes the writer. So Wes the writer,
Wes the
like
writer. Okay.
he makes everything like in that space. He writes for KB, all these people. So
Okay.
Wes, I remember Wes actually came on board with he's the A&R at RMG as well.
Okay.
So he came on board my music team when I made Afraid, and like because I already had Afraid done, but it was like just on a different beat and things like that. He was like, "Oh, we should like do this and this and like throw somebody on it," and I'm like, "No, no, and no, and no, and no, we shouldn't." And then like we eventually got to that common ground, and that's what happened with this project, and it made something really beautiful. So yeah, so we made the beat over FaceTime one day. I mean Zoom one day, and then I sat with it like a day or two, and I was like, I don't know, I just started singing. I was just like, because it really gave me Miguel vibes, and I was like, oh, this needs to be like very grown, mature, sexy, but we got to make it like we don't know. So usually when I make lyrics, I sing melodies first, and then I'll fill the lyrics in later.
Okay.
So I'll like, I don't know what I don't even know. I don't know. I wonder if I had a reference tracks, but yeah, I don't know what I was talking about. I was just like, blah, 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 mumble, 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 mumble. Then I was like, oh snap, this is really good. So then fill the lyrics in. So the first verse says, "This song." You want to go like how many lines do you want to stop? Do you want to just like
Whatever just flows and makes sense.
okay, bet. So first verse says, "Just something about it, about your love, so addicting, you've been my drug." So obviously, it's really self-explanatory. Like I always feel like we see this person, we get this song is literally pure infatuation.
Okay.
There's nothing more than that. It's just infatuation. You're just like, yo, like this person is like mad fi. Like I really like their vibe. And it's like I'm picturing like you're dating somebody, you're talking to somebody for a long time, and you're just like, oh snap, like you really just love their presence, and it's just like you starting to like not want to go without it
Mm-hmm.
like at all. You don't want to see yourself without them type thing. So then I feel like if you can't see yourself without them, or if you feel like you can't live without somebody, that's an issue. So
Yeah.
like I get it on a romantic side, but on a like healthy side, you need to be able to be self-sustaining. You do not need to be like making them attachments and things like that. That's unhealthy. Shout out
A
to my
lot of people don't
therapist.
get that. And try telling
Yeah.
that to somebody. People think you're weird when you explain that.
Well, they just heard it from me. So I I need your body right here next to me. Don't just feel like ecstasy. I need you right next to me. I need you every freaking second of the day. That literally is an issue.
Yeah.
Like that's an issue. Like I want you right here next to me. I'm like the fact of their feeling their presence literally leaves you high like a drug. I'm just like just red flags everywhere for me. So I'm just like, don't just feel like ecstasy. I need it. I need it, babe. When you're far away, how don't know how much to take. It might just kill me. Like I need you here. Like I don't want you to ever be away from me. And it's just like I don't know how much of your presence, of your love that I can take. Like I don't know what is gonna happen. And I know this probably might kill me. This probably is not gonna be a good idea. So the next line say, OD anyway, need to rehabilitate the way it infiltrate. I lost our feeling. I don't care. I don't care that this is a bad thing. Like, and I know I'm going to have to heal after this. I know this is going to damage me in a very, very, very bad way. But the way that it affects me when I get the feeling, when I get that fix, like it numbs me to the fact that I am hurt.
Yeah.
So that's the first verse. So then the hook says, my oh my, what you do to me should be a crime. Just one dose of you will leave me high. So it should be a crime. It should be illegal for you to make me feel the way I do, for you to be able to manipulate me the way that you do, for you to be able to make me do anything that you say to me just because I love you. So every time I get around you, every time you just give me a little bit, every time you just give me a little motion that you feel the same about me, it just sets me off on this trip.
I'm feeling you. Sorry. Also, I don't know if it's like the woman in me or like the long term singleness of me, but also it's like, is it the person or is it you? Because is this person making you feel this way,
Mm-hmm.
or is that some stuff that you have to resolve
Mm-hmm.
and work through?
So the thing is, it's like I'll let this. I left a lot of these songs open ended because it's just like I wanted people to make their own
Yeah.
interpretation of it. So I feel like you could take that however you wanted it. So from my perspective, I was writing from a perspective of because I've been in a relationship like that where I'm just like I was just so infatuated with this person that if I just got any type of attention from them, I was just like, oh, I'm fine. Like even though it was not any good for me.
Mhm.
So, I was just writing from that perspective, but I love that you actually took that in that context. I didn't never really think about that. That's kind of fire. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So yeah, so this one does some you will leave me high. Got me seeing color like LSD, obviously drug reference, like I am tripped out.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, this. So why do I come back when you're no good for me? It takes a toll, and yet I need you by. I'm addicted to you like LSD. So that's what it is. Like you're no good for me. This person's no good for that person, and it's just like I know you're damaging me. I know you're hurting me,
Yeah.
but I'd rather I'd rather hurt than live in a world without you. So, which is very toxic.
Yeah.
So, not okay. So, okay, second verse says, I can't deny it. I lost control. I'm at your mercy. Do as you want. If you see this person, it's just like, okay, I know they're recognizing they have an issue at this point, and they're like, yo, like, I'm literally at your mercy. I'm at your begging, like, whim. I would do anything you say. They're realizing that this person has control over them. So it says, I need your heart. You said it belongs to me. I hope it's really not just a fantasy. So I feel like at that point, it's like this person is looking for something more, not yo, like I want something real. You're telling me that this is real, but I'm not really feeling like it's real. I really feeling like this is just a chase again.
Yeah.
So right. So then it goes back to the pre-hook and the hook. And I really just feel like I really made this song just to be like just a realization of how toxic love can really be if it's not grounded in the right things.
Yeah.
So like it'll turn into infatuation and ultimately it'll literally destroy you. Love is such a powerful thing. Like, and I think people like don't really understand the depth of it. Like it can literally it can literally heal you. It can literally like set you up for greatness, or it can lead you down this trail of what ambiguity
Mhm.
and just destruction because one, you don't know how to use it, and two, the other person is just manipulating your heart because you just want it so bad. So
Yeah, okay. So I love the topic, and it just makes me like think of a lot of stuff, and it's not necessarily just related to the song, but the topic
mm,
of infatuation.
mhm,
When someone, because I feel like I've been on both ends, right? I've
mhm,
had people who were infatuated with me. It's like
mhm.
I had absolutely nothing to do with that.
Right,
Like
facts.
like
This
the
is a
way you feel.
self-caused thing.
Yeah.
Right,
And those are the people who were like the ones who are like, I need you in my life and you
right.
complete me. And then you
It's an
having to like
issue.
explain, okay, no,
Right.
I can't complete you. Then it's
Facts.
like, yeah. So,
Facts.
but then I've also been like, I've been infatuated with someone as well.
Facts.
And that may not necessarily be something that they're doing. It could be.
Right.
I've
Right.
been in like every scenario. It could
Right.
be something that they're doing that could be like manipulating me, but it also can just be me as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, love is powerful, but it also forces you to do a lot of
And
self evaluation
mhm.
and figure
And
out
it
like
Yeah, and that's what I really wanted within this album because it's like I've gotten so much feedback of people just like, bro, like I really had to relive some of my situations, and I realized that this doesn't that, and I healed because of this. That's really what I really wanted because like these songs are just so polarizing that people are just like, what the crap? So then they like
yeah,
really like, oh wow. So yeah, I really think, and the thing is, it's like obviously with LSD, it's a hallucinogen. So the thing is, this whole thing is in your mind, like because it's like obviously this person doesn't love you.
yeah,
They're just like all of this is self-caused, and that would definitely be reflected. I just cannot wait for. I know I keep plugging the video, but I really just can't wait for people to see it because it's just like it'll make sense. People will
yeah.
be like, okay, this makes sense now. So that's LSD. Um,
You nice
I know
guy.
you. Okay, I was like, I know you wanted to do a specific one, so yeah, okay. Nice guy is what it says. So like, yo, I remember I wrote this song. I remember the day, well, the next day when I wrote this song, I was on a phone with a girl who was like, we were homies, but like we always had this like vibe or whatever. But then she said she was always going through something. I don't know why. But either way, so like no stability whatsoever. But she told me about this guy she was talking to and things like that. And I was just like, oh, like it's like we knew we had a vibe, but then like we would talk about people if we were talking to other people. But then that night I was just like, bro, I'm literally always in this situation. I am literally a nice guy. Cause like I'm literally like this person that's always consistent with people, always pouring out, always giving more than I'm getting, always whatever. You're such a nice guy type thing. And then that night, I was just like, wait. And then I woke up and I was just like, I'm just gonna write this. I'm just gonna write how I feel. And this is really one of the first songs where I really like wrote and penned exactly how I felt to a T that I couldn't really explain it any other way.
Okay.
So the first verse. Don't want to be the nice guy. So sick of hearing you're so great, but it can't be you. Listen, everybody has been through that. At least I have, and like people, my fans have. Like it. I don't know if you've been through this, but it sucks. Like when you think you find somebody that like you're vibing with, and they're just like, oh my gosh, I wish I could find somebody just like you or whatever. And you're like, I am somebody like me.
That's pretty messed up. No, I mean,
Yeah,
I definitely have never told anyone that. I didn't, thankfully, I
right.
don't
And
know
it's kind
anyone
of
to say that
right,
to me. That's pretty
right.
messed
And it's
up.
kind
How do
it's
you
pretty messed
how
up.
do you let those words, how do you fix your mouth to let those words come out of your mouth?
Well, the thing is, it's like a lot of these experiences happen in the early 20s or like in the teens. So like I feel like nobody really. I feel like in the dating world, especially in the teen late teens to like mid 20s, nobody really knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Especially if you ain't been into therapy, so it's like everybody's just out here hurting each other. So this is what
Yeah.
it is. So yeah, yeah. So it's just like yo, like literally, I was so sick of being I'm a nice person. Like I'm so sick of hearing like, oh my god, you're so great. Like I wish I could find somebody just like you, but not you. So I'm just like, okay, cool. So it says so over the phone calls about a new man that you brought around in the last few weeks. Self-explanatory. Was super over that. Like not really fun. And it's not even just my relational aspects with these girls that I was talking to, but even like my friends, I'm always that the person that counsels people. So my friends that are girls, they always tell me about their guy problems, and I'm just like, bro, why do I always hear about this? Like so this song's actually really sad. So but it sounds happy, and
Wait,
that's what I really like about my new
sorry,
music.
before you go further, the audio is fine, but like visually, you're distorted. I
For
don't know if
real.
there's anything you can
Hold
do
up, let
about the
me see.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, let me like. I'm gonna just go on my cell phone hotspot. Hold up.
Okay.
Uh, mm, can you see me now at all?
Yeah, I can see you. You're not breaking up. It's not as clear as it was, but you're not breaking up, so it's all good.
Okay. Okay. So hopefully is okay, cool. I'm
All
super
the,
sorry. I don't know. Like we literally had to like work on our Wi-Fi the other day. I don't know what's going on with it, but I apologize.
it's all good.
All right, cool. Um, okay. So yeah. I said over the phone calls about a new man that you brought around in the last few weeks. And it says, now I lie once again and say I'm happy for you. Always saying like, yo, I'm super happy that you do this. And I'm just like, this sucks. So all right, this is a really sad song. So what I was saying is just like a lot of my new music is just like they sound super happy, but if you really like look at the lyrics, you'll be like, oh, this man is going through something or he's went through something, this type of things. So the pre-hook says, baby, I know what's wrong from right and what's wrong is me that really believes his bed won't be shared tonight. So I'm just like, what's wrong? What's wrong to me or what's wrong to anybody is ending up alone. Nobody wants to end up alone. And I know people might be content with singleness, which is a good thing, which is a
Yeah.
good thing. But nobody wants to end up like by themselves. Let's keep it a band. Like if y'all saying y'all want to end up by yourself, y'all are lying. So that's fine. So all right, because his bed won't be shared at night because he'll end up lonely. Hi, it's me, the nice guy. So that's just self-explanatory. So hi, it's me, the nice guy. Know you, so I try. Seems like bad guys from the world, and all the girls give me good vibes. So we live in this culture where it is it is highlighted that bad boys are like the it thing.
Mm-hmm.
I always struggle with
Good
this
girls like bad guys. Yes.
facts. Facts. So I'm just like, I always wrestle with this concept of like, why I always like, even in my friends, I'm just like, why do y'all like men that don't like you? I'm just like you can't even rap. There's no other way to put it. I'm just like, a lot of people that I've come in contact with, that's what they like. And it's like, what it is, it's just like a lot of people try to fix people. They want to fix them, they want to save them, they
Mm,
want to repair these people's brokenness, and it reels
yes.
them in, and it's just a cycle. And I'm just like, that always just used to bug me. I'm just like, bro, if I wasn't honorable out here, oh my goodness, bro. Like literally, if I wasn't right, then people would like me. But it's just like there's no reason for me to change
Well,
myself for that.
that's one aspect. The changing
Right. What's the other
part.
one?
The other one is the like he the fact that he changed for me. He didn't
Mm.
change for the rest of them, but for me, he changed.
So it's just that I've heard that before. So it's just that satisfaction of him changing solely for you. But 70% of the time, I work. Because honestly, I used to be on the opposite spectrum when I was in a relationship. I could just never like quote unquote act right for this one girl that I was dating. And it was kind of, I started realizing like she was obsessed with the fact of fixing me, even though I couldn't be fixed unless I was in therapy and like the Lord helped me. So I'm just like it was just very interesting. So that's a
That's one. The
really,
other one, sorry, there's a lot of things that go to it, but I think the
please, please, please.
just the whole imagery. It's not necessarily they want to fix anyone. It's just the imagery of the bad boy or the
Mm-hmm,
Kalani's I need a gangsta. You just
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
what it represents. You
mm-hmm.
just want.
Yeah. And I feel like, so it's like I break down these things with my friends that are girls. I be want to know. I'd be like, listen, like let me understand, so I can not even just help myself, so I can help the rest of people that listen to my music. Because a lot of like my main audience is a lot of women, but I do have men that DM me and ask me questions that I'd be like, okay. So, but I think you could correct me of this if I'm wrong. I think the image of a bad guy, it represents strength and things like that. They don't have
Mhm.
to like they're not insecure. They're not like they don't question things, whatever. They just got that strong foundation
Protection.
with them. Facts. So I just came to realize that, and I'm just like, bro, literally, I realized this year, which is so crazy. I realized this year. I'm just like, you can be a quote unquote nice guy, but you can still not be a pushover. You can still be strong. You can still give that protection to a woman. Because I'm just like, that's what they want. And if y'all ain't know that, I just put you on game, bro. Like, cause that literally just changed my life. Like, I promise you, it changed my life.
You definitely can. I mean, it's what everyone really wants ultimately is you want to feel
Mm,
safe with someone. And
facts,
feeling safe for someone might look different for a guy versus a woman, but for
right?
women, we equate being safe as like being protected.
Facts,
So,
facts. So that was a gem. Please listen to her because that was like a gem. Y'all probably do not DM me because we just both answered that question. So yes. All right. So, and the girls give me good vibes. It's me, the nice guy. I text back, no reply. My love can stop the storm and keep you warm from the inside. It's me, the nice guy. There's been so many times in my life and even in my friends' life who are very wholesome men that they got left on red. I got left on red before, guys. It's I'm not about to be the artist that act like they've gotten everything. Bro, I would never be that artist. I'm always gonna keep it a band with
yeah,
everybody. I'm like, I've been there. Not so much now because it's like I've learned self-worth and things like that. And it's just like if don't nobody want to invest in me, I'm not about to stay around. No, I'm not about to do that.
exactly.
I'm a king. I'm not about to do that. So
Right on.
so yeah, guys. So I've been there and it's just like I know I have so much to give somebody. I'm just like I can just literally change your life in the Lord and just like in everything emotionally, all this stuff, therapy. Like I can do these things, but I never got a chance. But so that's literally the hook. So that's that. So the second verse is really nice. It says, "Does anybody want a good man?" Because at one point I'm like, does anybody want a good person? Especially like I said, dating in my age group is like literally the worst experience. It's literally the worst experience. It's so hard to find an individual that has a similar mindset, that has goals, that's like one emotionally stable. Oh my goodness, emotionally stable, and it's just really like understanding. So I was just at that point, I'm just like, Lord, is this even like a thing? Is this what they want? Is this what they really want? I don't think it's a thing. But so does anybody want a good man? The type that's in a full room, but he makes it feel like it's only you. That was really cute. Like I like that because it's just like really cute. Because it's just like who doesn't? I always hear these couples that always just like I could be in a full room and it just makes, but when they're there, it makes me feel like it's just us. And I'm just like, how does that feel? I was like, what? That must be amazing.
That is
So
a good point.
that's what I want. So I don't know what y'all want, but that's what I want. So the type that's in a full room, but it makes it feel like it's only you. Does anybody want real love, a love with no boundaries that teaches you and finds peace? I feel like real healthy love is a love that's able to correct you, teach you, push you to your next level, but also give you peace in a healthy way. Like not that peace where you like, oh, I need this person in my life, but no, like this person is an addition to my life of what I've
Yeah.
already learned, and it gives me peace and it like gives me this clarity, and I can see God and all the other good things within this. So I was like, does anybody want that? Like, you should, because again, that's what I want. So like, so again, it goes back to the hook. I know what's wrong from right. What's wrong is me that really believes this bed won't be shared at night because you'll end up lonely. It's me, the nice guy. And then it goes into the hook and it goes to the bridge. It says, no more blowing up your phone. I won't bother you at all. No more driving to your place at night. I won't do that no more. I'm not about to waste my time no more. Like I'm not gonna waste my time.
Done.
I'm not
Yeah.
about to sow no seeds and nothing if it's not being reciprocated. I need energy reciprocated. I need reciprocal energy. So I just at the point of that song, I realized I'm just like, I'm not gonna waste my time anymore. I'm a nice guy. I know who I am. I know my worth. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm gone.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. So that was nice guy. Which one did you want to do? Crazy
Well,
or
before we get to we are going to do crazy next, but I want
crazy?
to talk about the
Okay.
text that you posted on Instagram because I
Mm,
feel like it kind of fits with a nice guy song.
that's kind of wild. I'm gonna let you know. My rollout had people concerned. Like my rollout had literal people concerned about my
Checking in
health
on
and
you.
my friends, even because I didn't tell my friends. My friends were like, "Bro, like what in the world is this?"
I
And then I got all of these like fan DMs and prayers and letters, and even like my regular fans, they was like, "Hey G, like, hey, is you straight? Like what? Like who I gotta hurt or something?" I'm just like, I'm alright. Like I promise. But I couldn't break character. So my text was, if we're going in the storyline, my text was, I don't know if you saw my short film, but my text was to the girl. Oh, you sleep.
Wait, wait, wait.
There's a
Short
short film to
film.
this.
I
There's
watched
a
a
short film to this.
I watched a video. Was it a short? I'm gonna have to, okay, what's the name of the short film?
It's literally Promise I'm Not Crazy short film. So pretty much, yeah. So essentially, what happens? Or I'm gonna just let you watch it. So,
Okay. I don't know. I did watch a video. I just said I don't know if it was
what
the short because you
what
don't
was the
have any
video?
other single like videos for your singles, right?
No, I don't have any videos
Okay. So I
until
watched it.
third. I'm pretty sure you watched it. It
I
was like when I was like in a studio, then I was with this girl, and then like I cooked her dinner. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
that text was to her.
Okay.
So I was like, that text was taking, well, in the storyline, it's the events after the date, like after she just left, and then I like was upset and things like that.
Okay.
It was like, are we going to talk about last night? Like, and
Got it.
I was like, because the thing is, it's like I feel like what's so relatable with this project is just like one, it's so human and so real. Like I'm just like, I don't know if anybody else has been through this, but me personally, I've been in relationships where I invested so much, taking girls on extravagant dates, which is like cool. A date doesn't guarantee you. It doesn't like mean you're owed anything from somebody.
Yeah.
Like just let's just get that straight, guys. Just because you take a girl on a date does not mean you are owed anything. So that's just out.
Yes.
That's
You guys hear
out of
that?
that. Please. Some of y'all be weird. But anyway, so what happens is like, I got on that, and it's just like, let's say you're talking to somebody and they give you all these promises, whatever, and then like it doesn't work out, but they don't give you an explanation of why it doesn't work out. I guess that's what bothers a lot of people. So I was playing on that emotion, and I'm just like, into you said you were ready for a relationship, da da da, blah 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 blah. A lot of people thought this was like real. By the
Okay,
way,
so it's not a real text.
it's not a real text,
Good.
guys. I low key, I don't even know if I'm going to ask you to edit that out yet because I'm just like I don't know if we're still playing on the storyline or not. So
Um,
I'm just like,
all right. Well, I mean, this will be, I'm not going to post this for a couple weeks
yeah,
anyway.
we'll figure it out. But it's not real text between me and you. It's not real text.
Okay.
So
But I do want to, for those who haven't heard the text or have no idea what we're talking
read
about,
it.
I do want to read it. So the text says, "Are we going to talk about last night? Are you really not going to say anything after all this effort I put in? You told me you've never been with a guy that respected you and made you feel like a woman you carry yourself to be. Even after you told me about how your ex did you, now you were going to do me like this? You won't even talk to me? India." Then you said her name. I was like, this better not be real. Put her name out there. India, you told me I was dealing with a grown woman who knew what she wanted, but you won't even be mature enough to be honest with me.
I broke the internet that day. I'm gonna be honest. Like people were just, like, it was so crazy. And my marketer in India, like the model, we were just like, oh my gosh. So, but that's the thing. Like, I feel like communication in relationships is everything. So my thing is like, one thing I want to say, like people always die for closure. They want closure at the end of things. But the thing is, guys, you will not always get closure. So sometimes you got to understand the way that somebody treats you is the closure that you need. So that's just what that is. That's a fact. That's a little gem. Look
That's a
that
gem
up.
right there for sure.
So in this instance, in this scenario, this girl told me I was going to be dealing with this amazing woman that she knew what she wanted. Da, 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 da. But then even after the date, let's say even after the date didn't go right, I just wanted to know like, okay, is this it? Like can we talk about this? So like I know where to go. And then I feel like the second text is just that anger because I'm like somebody would be like, yo, bro, like what is happening right now? Like I feel like so that's why I put it there because I wanted to show the very array of love. You go from like, hey, are we? But why are you playing with me? Like, stop playing with me, like for real. So I feel like it conveys all of that emotion.
Yeah.
I feel like it's very real. I feel like a couple of people that I know that follow me sent that text to a couple of people. Like I know I've never sent a text like this in my real life because it's like I just be taking signs. But I know there's a lot of people that don't take signs and they be sending things like this. So yeah. And it definitely made me seem like I was like kind of crazy. So there was that.
It did. And
And that
I
was
think it
the
worked
whole
perfectly.
that
That
was the whole point of this rollout. Like it was a
was
whole point of it.
perfect marketing rollout.
I'm
You
trying to
nailed
tell you,
it.
people. I'm trying to. This rollout was crazy. Like people really thought it was this rollout was crazy. I think the most powerful. There's a lot of powerful ones, but I think I did this one. I did this one post. You know, it was like the reality is they'll never love you, not in the same way that you love them, and things like that. And
Mhm.
people were just like, ouch. Like people were like literally sending me videos of it was like like balling and things like that. I felt so bad for a minute because I was just like, oh, this is like really hitting home. But it helped me because I knew in the end goal, like this album was gonna like help. And I've gotten so many messages on people are just like, this hurt, but I was like, I needed to hear this because it let me realize like this relationship that I'm in is just not good for me.
Yeah.
Or it helped me get to my point where I can actually heal from this and things like that. And I was like, that made it worth it. So
Right on.
yes.
Okay. So now we can go to crazy.
Crazy is an actual wild song. Crazy is a really wild song. All right. So have you ever saw the show You on Netflix?
I haven't seen it, but I know it. I'm kind of afraid to watch it. Like,
Right. It's not really scary, but it's just like it's scary into the fact of just like this could be anybody type thing.
yeah, people are
So
weird, and when you're
people
single
are
and
weird.
dating, and you've actually
It's
encountered like
yeah,
stalkers, you kind of don't want to
right.
watch a show about
Yeah.
it.
So then that's what I was telling my team. I was just like, hey, we got to be very careful with this because like we don't want to like trigger people. So, but just on the conceptual side, it's not side. Um, crazy is supposed to represent the obsession somebody can have with love.
Okay.
So I have friends, unfortunately, that's like I literally had to be like, bro, what? what are you doing, bro? You're being like really ridiculous right now. You're scaring this girl, and that's not okay. Like, stop being like this. I actually, I hope they don't listen to this, but I don't care. I actually had a pair of friends that actually went through this exact situation,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't write it about them, but I just realized after, and I was like, oh, this is actually like kind of crazy. So the idea is this person loves this person so much that they will do anything to be with them, and the person is just like, oh, okay, that's the other person on the reciprocate, that's getting this told to, is just like, okay, like something's off about this, but I'm not very sure about what this is.
Mm-hmm.
So let's break this down, because this is like this
Yeah.
was, so me and Wes wrote this, but Wes had the main concept for this, because I don't think I could have like just came up with this. Like, well, I came up with the lyrics, but just the overall concept, it was a team thing. It's just like the way they like envisioned it, and I was like, okay, this is cool. So yeah, me and Wes make interesting songs. So all right, so this is actually where I got the. One day I listened to the first line after I wrote it, like after I wrote the verses or whatever, and I was like, oh, let's call the project "Promise I'm Not Crazy."
Okay.
So it says, "Promise I'm not crazy. Obsessed maybe. Your friends think that I'm tripping. I think they should be all getting from around you lately." So obviously, this person just like, yo, like, I'm not crazy. I'm just like, I might be obsessed with you, but I'm just like, but don't listen to their friends. Don't listen to your friends. They're tripping. It's fine. We're fine. Says, um, who else you need, baby? My heart got me paranoid. So you know that person that's super insecure in relationships, that they think every single thing that you're cheating on them or something like that. So that's this person. This person's just like, like, I'm not crazy, but give me a reason. Like, I'll just let you know, like, like, you're not going away. So it's just like, this song is very like, it's just weird, because it's like I was scared to actually drop it, because I was just like, this is like gonna be like really like a lot for certain people. But I'm just like, okay, well, this is a side. So the pre hook is really 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 wild, and it's just like I actually based it kind of from the show You, and it
Okay.
says, this is not literal, so please do not take this literal. This is definitely just all from creative aspects, and I do not condone any action with this, guys. So don't do this, because you will end up
Disclaimer.
in
Okay.
in jail. Do not do this. So it says, so if I watch you while you're out across the street, or I sneak inside your home where you're asleep, I'm kidding. That would be crazy. So the person is just like, yo, like, I would do anything for you. Like, I would watch out for you, da da da. And like the person's just like, and he's like, no, no, I'm playing. That would be crazy, right? That would
Yeah.
be really wild if I did that. So then the hook says, but if I was crazy, could you blame me? There's not a thing I wouldn't do for love to fight for us. So now this person's just like, I'm kidding, but no, for real, if I had to do this, like, you can't blame me, because I would do anything. This is how you know somebody tripping. They be like, I would do anything to be with you. Like, it don't matter. So then in the second part of the hook, it says, so I'll show you crazy since this how you made me. So they're flipping the blame, they're projecting, and they're being very toxic. They're like, yo, this is actually your fault. Like, this is your fault that I'm this way. Since you made me like this. You made me fall in love with you, which nobody can, whatever. You made me fall in love with you. So I'll just show you how crazy I can be. So you can never say I didn't try enough. I was like, you can never say I didn't give my all a try enough, because that would be crazy. So pretty much this person's just like, yo, you can never say I ain't do everything in my power, even though you didn't ask for it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, everything in my power to keep you here. And if this don't work, it's your fault. And that's crazy that it don't work. So this person is literally, their cognitive view of the world is very distorted from love.
Yes.
This is how love can like literally make you crazy. So this is that part of the album. So the second verse says, you don't make this easy. Love too deeply. Have it your way. Don't listen. You stress it. We should go missing. So just like this person, just like, yo, you're not really making this easy for me. Like, you're not making this like, because I've experienced a lot of people being in relationships like this. Sad to say, and then like their partner, they're just like, bro, like, you're making this way too difficult for me. Like, we like, they'll have those people that will like, those people that like are in relationships, and they won't allow them to have friends and things like
Oh
that.
yeah, I've heard it. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's that. This is that. It's just like, yo, like, we should go missing. You shouldn't talk to anybody else except for me. like, which is really bad.
Yeah.
Yep. This is where we go deeper into this, guys. It's like, it's definitely wild, but there's a, at the end of the album, there's a reason. Like, it's there. So promise, it's like really wild. So, anyways, so we should go missing from around here. Maybe. Who else you need? Who else you need, baby? You think that I'm paranoid. This is when a person starts to realize, I'm like, okay, this person is actually wild. I should not be like in commitment with them. So the other person, I seen this to this person, and just like, yo, like, who else do you need besides me? And if somebody ever says that to you guys, run. Like,
Exactly. Please
run. You do
do.
not need to be with somebody like this in this song. It's like, that's not okay. Who else you need, baby? You think that I'm paranoid. Then they're on the flip side of it, I'm like, you think that I'm crazy? I'm not crazy. But again, he's like, so when I watch you while you're out across the street, or when I sneak inside your home while you're asleep, I'm not kidding, baby. I can get crazy. If it gets to this point, guys, like, in all seriousness, bro, like, you need to leave and really get help, because that's scary. So, right. So then it goes into the hook says, so I'll just be crazy. Can you even blame me? There's not a thing I wouldn't do for love to fight for us. So I'll show you crazy, since this how you made me. Just reiterating, this is like your fault. It's just like, you can never say I didn't give my all, try enough, because that would be crazy. That's the hook. So we're at the point in the song where I feel like we're at the tension, the very climax of this relationship, where like, it's like, what's about to happen? This is really bad. This is really scary. This person needs to get out. What the heck is wrong with this other person? It's just like, what, I don't understand. But the thing is, but this is the thing about love, because it's like, some people can be in this type of relationship and they think it's fine. And that's what's wild to me. Like, this right? I've saw literally
Yeah, no, they
no.
can, but is it healthy? They can do it,
Oh,
but
it's not healthy at all.
healthy.
This song is not a healthy song at
I
all.
know.
It's very, and that's the thing about this album. I wanted this to like pull different emotions from people that be like, yo, I really don't know how to feel about it. This is uncomfortable. But it's a reality. Literally, I knew friends that were literally, two of my best friends were in this type of relationship. And I was watching this happen. And I was just like, but they thought it was completely okay. And I was like, okay. Like, So this, at this point in this next section, like, you literally, you need to be gone by this point. But at this point, if you're in this point at this song and you're not there, I really don't know what to tell you, because you're kind of, yeah. All right. So the person singing to the person, it says, this may be messed up, but ain't no one next up. I'm sick in the head, jump off the ledge to meet you halfway to catch up. It's just like, if I can't have you, nobody else will have you. It don't matter. Nobody's gonna have you. That's this point blank period. If you going out, I'm going out. We going out. So that's not okay, guys. That's not okay. So this may
That's
be
scary,
messed up.
not crazy.
It's, yeah, it's definitely scary. It says, this may be messed up. I'm emotionally messed up. I'm sick in the head, jump off the ledge to meet you halfway and catch up. I'm crazy. And it's just like, I know there's something wrong with me. I know I'm emotionally screwed in the head. I know I'm sick in the head, but that still won't take away the fact that I am going to have you, because I'm literally crazy. And it goes from the hook, and it's just that. So, but I didn't lead the song just off of that edge, because it goes into crashing. Because after that type of love, it just, everything disintegrates into nothing.
Yeah.
And it's just, you're left with nothing. Because I feel like when you leave abusive relationships, when you leave relationships that take a toll out on you, I don't think there's anything else there's nothing else you can give. There's no saving it. There's no anything. And literally, you guys are just meant, you're going to crash. There's no stability, there's no foundation, there's nothing about it that's healthy. So
Yeah,
you're going to crash.
you're gonna
So
crash.
that was that. Okay. That was a
And
lot.
that was a lot. I mean, there's a lot to unpack on all the songs, and it was really hard to just pick four because, I mean, I'm glad that you said how like crazy flows into crashing and why it flows into crashing because I didn't select that song, even though I wanted to, but it's a four-song breakdown.
Right.
So
Right.
let's go to
That's
Guilty.
my song. Oh my God. I love that song. All right. Guilty, I wrote in my car at 3 a.m. Well, I was
Okay.
actually, now this song, like, I wrote all these songs from relationships that I've been through, but Guilty was written from a relationship that didn't work, two relationships that didn't work actually this year. So that got to me. So guilty is the resolve of crashing. Guilty is the resolve when that actually was supposed to be the last song on the project, but we added Gorgeous as a bonus track. So because anyways, I can tell you. So guilty is the realization, it's the somber realization that all of this, all these things you went through, all these emotions you experienced, even though it's like it's literally you guys are literally killing each other and you're really realizing that like you're toxic and you're realizing this is because of me. All of this is because of me. So guilty is the realization that pretty much this love is literally killing you. But at this point, it's not like you realize it's killing you and you don't like care. It's like you realize you're killing you, just like yo, I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So guilty is literally the most. Oh my god, that production is so pretty. So pretty much what happened essentially was we made it on FaceTime again, not FaceTime Zoom. So we were kicking it, talking, and I was like, actually, that's from Black's. He had an EP come out or whatever, and I liked one song. I was like, yo, can we make a vibe like this? Then it was completely different. So Wes was like, Byron, you should like just sing randomly and just send it to us. So they did. So then they sampled my voice in the song. So I want to do a lyric breakdown for this. Oh my gosh, but yeah. So pretty much, essentially, that's what happened in Guilty, and just like the lyrics itself, I think speak volumes to that. Like, I'll just read my like just the key ones. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing at all. So I feel like for me, it says, I hate that I need you. I hate when you come around. I hate that you're on my mind. Love ain't really like this. Can't stand when you're away. I don't want you near suicide when you kiss me. I do or die these vows too deep. Just criminals loving free. Our kind of love's dangerous. Baby, we're a massacre. So that is just what it is. It's just like in the hook, just is saying like I'm finally admitting that we're guilty. All of this is my fault. All of this is our fault. Like, and I can't really get away from that. So, and that's really what it is. And it's just like it's just the realization of hating the fact that you're in this position. But it's not because you hate that person. It's just like because it's like the damage we cause is self-inflicted. So the cool thing about the way I ended it was I got everybody, some people that I knew, like my friends, and I was just like, can you say this phrase that says, what did I say? Is it love makes you crazy? Love can make you crazy or whatever. So it's just the somber reality, everything, every song coming back in this whole emotional journey you don't went through, and you're just like, dang, maybe love can make you crazy. This is really what happens. Like, wow, this is a mess. Like, if not handled right, love is a mess. So you're just like, dang, that's really a somber reality that you really gotta like deal with. So yeah, Guilty is a very deep song. And obviously if you need to cry, you need everything, you can be in your feelings to this. I love being in my feelings. So this is a song for me. So like,
All right.
yeah. Mm.
So the guilt then is the person's own guilt and realizing like the role that they played and everything.
So it's like so it's two sides. It's guilt, like from oh my god, I'm feeling guilty right now, but guilty as in it's a sentence. Like we're guilty.
Mm.
Like we're guilty in sentence in the sentence of love, like we did this. So yeah. That's why in the hook I said I don't need a sentence to let me know the truth we're guilty.
Right on. All right.
That was a
So
lot.
it's a short EP, but that was
it's a
a
it's a
long
lot.
explanation.
It's a lot.
It's it's still though. I mean, that's one of those explanations that now makes me want to go back and re-listen to it now that I have like all the context.
Yeah, it's a lot of meaning to it, and it just like it's so funny how it's came together because like when I first made it, I did not think about any of this, but then I was just like, oh, this is starting. This is why I know like God had hand in it because everything just like came together,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, wow, this is a very emotionally wrenching like project if you really like go through it. So yeah.
So what about the fact, like if I didn't know who you were as an artist and I just
Mm-hmm.
heard this album, I'm like, this is a really dope, album about relationships. Um, but I wouldn't have known that you were a Christian artist.
Right, and low key that was kind of like the thing. So me, I'm like I said, I don't like want to say I'm it's like weird to say this. It's like I'm just my music is being projected more in the mainstream or whatever. So we're just like, okay, but like let's go for these spaces. Because again, me personally, I've been called. Like I feel like I've been called recently. Just even as a songwriter, I just been going into these sessions that people wouldn't even believe that I've been in, and I'm like, I've been able to talk about the Lord and things like this in these sessions. So we're just like, all right, bet, let's go for it. And it's like talking to Xavier, he's really giving me like a cool blueprint of it, and he's like, bro, like there's not a lot of music like ours, bro. He's like, and we need to be able to like spread that. And bro, it's just one. Can I just say, like, I used to listen to Xavier like when I was a kid. So having him as my like brother mentor person right now, just like be like, oh my gosh, like I am fangirling. So it's crazy, and I love Xavier. So like having him just like walk me through stuff like this is just like amazing. And it's like I didn't get as much backlash as I thought I was going to get because it's just
Yeah.
like I feel like if people really know me, like when we're talking, like they'll understand that, and that's the whole thing about what I'm doing right now. Because I'm just like, guys, on surface, I want this to be about relationships and love, but I want you guys, I want my fans, I want people to be like, okay, but what else? Like, what else? There's something about this. Because I'm just like, this probably shouldn't have been that deep. There's like, there has to be an explanation to this, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, da, da, da. This is the explanation, and then the solution, obviously, is therapy, but it's the Lord. It's the Lord. It's the Lord in therapy. So I'm just like, that's what it is, guys. And it's like me doing that is so fulfilling to me because it's just like I don't care. Like a lot of Christian artists, they be like, "Oh God, I want to go mainstream so bad," but I'm just like, but they don't ever one step out to do that, or they just do it for the wrong reason. I'm just like, I just so happen to like be connected with these things, and God just really like gave me like, "Oh, bro, you're already here, so you might as well." And I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing this to get I guess discovered or whatever. I'm doing this because I'm just like I know there's a message. I know there's a lot of people, even in the Christian space, that struggle with relationships. People don't talk about it. They don't be real about it enough. And I'm like, I'm going to be that person for both. Like, so it don't matter who you are. Like, you
Yeah.
getting like this full, scale truth. And at the heart of that, like when you really get to know me, when you watch what I post on Twitter and everything else like that, and it's like it's going to be God. That's just what it is. So it's just yeah, I'm like, y'all can enjoy the music. Literally, when I went to Xavier's concert, I'll never forget this. Like he when he came to Charlotte, he invited me out. We was at the tour bus kicking it. Show started. All types of people there. It's obviously regular people. Like it was an open bar. We're all 23, 21 up, whatever. People drinking, all this other stuff. But it was so what the craziest thing was they were dancing to his slow songs with crap, people like doing whatever they do, regular concerts.
Mhm.
Xavier stopped during his set and he was just like, I want you guys to know, like, this is cool, da da da, but God is the answer for this, and this, and the third. And I was like, that moment, I was like, oh, this is what we doing for show. This is it. I'm like, it's possible. I'm like, so that's literally it. And it's just like I know a lot of people might think my way. I haven't really gotten even bad backlash from this. I got like maybe a few on YouTube, but it's like if people think I'm crazy with it, well, that's the whole premise of this project.
Yeah.
People think I'm crazy because I'm stepping out into this new venture, but I'm just like, if you're my fan, if you've been my fan from like the jump, and you already know the people I'm surrounded with, I'm like, there's a reason why we're doing it this way. The heart is still the same. It's just like we're just packaging it differently. And honestly, it's not even differently. It's just like stuff I've been struggling with that I'm finally talking about. So it's just like, yeah, guys,
No, it's cool. I
talking about. Wait, say it again. I didn't hear you.
sorry. You were kind of breaking up, so I didn't know if you would finish your thought.
No, no, you're good.
No, you were talking about how you fangirl over Xavier, but I think that it's super dope that you guys are connected. Like, I think that's just going to be like so amazing for us, like fans and just believers, period, because Xavier's been there and he's walking it. So
Facts.
the fact that he can
Facts.
help guide you through that, and we need more artists. Like Xavier can't be the only one like in this
Mm,
space as far as like R&B, soul, whatever, like,
mm,
the crooner
right,
music, like
right.
we need more
We
than
love it.
just Xavier. So
Right. So I'm out here trying, guys. Like, this is my first time. This is actually our first time being just like usually we'll do like R&B Christian, but this is the first time we did R&B, and I was really like kind of scared because randomly Bryson Tiller dropped, The Weeknd dropped, Earth, Wind and
yeah,
Fire dropped, Prince dropped, and I was just like, what is happening right now?
R&B weekend.
Right. But it was crazy because it's like we did end up charting 22 without anything. And I was just like, yo, that's super. I was super grateful for that. So I don't know. I just really feel like God's hand is on it, and it just like I feel like literally people have been literally they've told me about how they've been healed from this project and how they like it's their life story like literally put into words and how like everything has just been like amazing for them, and that's what everything is for me. I'm just like, well, I'm doing what I am doing for a reason,
Mhm.
and seeing people healed and seeing people just like feel like they're not alone. I'm like, that is what takes it for me. I'm just like, anything else y'all can have the rest. I don't really care about these numbers. I don't care about nothing else about that. But I'm just like, the fact that people are getting touched by this, that's what I care about. So I was just like, well, we're good. Like
Well, congrats, and it's really cool to watch. Um, and how would you say that God's presence looks like in your life musically?
God's presence, I'll be like, God, no cap, no cap. Shout out to One Day because she has me saying that a lot now. But anyways, so no cap, sometimes I'll be writing and I don't really know what I'll be doing. So I'll pray before I be like, Lord, what the crap? Give me something, because I don't really know what's happening. Then
Yeah.
I'll get like a big song or a big record, and I'll be like, okay, Lord. I always pray before my sessions. I always try to like incorporate that, even if I'm like in a mainstream session. I'm like, yeah, let me go outside for a minute. I'll come back. So like
Yeah.
and I'll do that, and it's just like I feel like I will never go out of range of like we can I feel like as artists we can say what we want, but at the foundation, if you're a believer, like there's like principles, like you don't want to make anything that's misleading, I guess, in a way. So I say people talk about real things that real people go through. I'm just like, but me and Xavier were talking about this, but like I always just know understand the principle and like what your relationship with God, how that looks like, and then being able to explain it, I guess later, because you can make an ambiguous song and make well obviously my whole album is ambiguous,
Yeah.
but the fact that I know the meaning of it and I can convey it, and I'm just like this is supposed to promote healing for the Lord, like from the Lord or whatever, is what's important for, like for me as an artist. So that's how he be there. He be helping me with these melodies. I don't really know what I don't you know what I be doing sometimes. I'd be like, Lord help me. He'd be like, bet. I'd be like, cool.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. And my final question is, now that you've
Yes,
gone
ma'am.
through, well, this is your second time going through this interview process with me, but we'll say this is the official one because everyone's going to see this. Who would you like to see me interview on the show?
Who would be next? You already got Paris. Paris is pretty close, my homie. Did you do One Day yet?
I did.
You did One Day.
Yeah.
Did you do Rockstar JT yet?
No, actually, I'm talking to him though. I'm trying to
That's
make
my
it work.
dog.
Okay.
Yeah, those two are my like those are my close friends. So
Who,
yeah, you should
Wande and
definitely.
Rockstar?
Those are my dogs.
Okay.
Those are my friends. Yep. So if you could do Rockstar, that'd be really cool. If Xavier would ever be like willing to do it again, that'd be super fire.
Yes.
Um,
I'd love to do Xavier again. Hey, what's up? Thank you. Thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for watching the show. However, you consume us, thank you. Please subscribe to the show. And if you really enjoy the content, please leave a review. It really does help with the ranking of the show. And if you want to go an extra mile, share the show, share this episode. And for all things testimony, visit testimonystories.com. Until next time, I'm Gilika Brown, the music lover constantly seeking positive music.